The question is asked, why do we not wear a tallit at night? And in fact, the obligation to wear a tzitzit is actually an obligation only during the day, not at night. And the question is, why? The Torah says about tzitzit that you should be able to look at it and see it, and by looking at the tzittzit, you will remember all of the commandments of the Torah. And because the commandment is given that we should wear the tzitzit or have the tzitzit at a time specifically when it can be seen. See, so the Torah connects the commandment to a time when things are visible, right? When you could see it. So therefore, Laila lav zman tzitzis. Therefore, the night is not a time when one is obligated to wear tzitzit, only during the day. And therefore, the commandment of wearing tzitzit is a time-bound commandment, and therefore, we are only obligated to wear it during the day, not at night. Now, a person does not mean that a person must take off their tzitzit at night, but the mitzvah, the commandment of tzitzit, is unique for the day, not at night. Generally, our custom is that we typically, in practice, now you know the law, that's the mitzvah. The commandment, as we see in the Torah, is that wearing tzitzit is uniquely bound by the day, but our tradition is that as long as we are wearing daytime clothing, right, so then we would wear tzitzit. But when we are wearing, let's say, pajamas and going to sleep, so then we would not wear tzitzit. That's the custom. But the law is that tzitzit is connected specifically to the daytime rather than at night. Okay? Because the Torah says, and you shall see them, uzachartem, and when you see them, you should then remember all the commandments. So therefore, tzitzit is a daytime commandment. Okay? That's the answer to the question. I don't know how much detail you want, but technically speaking, a person is not obligated to wear tzitzit unless they are wearing a garment that has four corners. Most of our modern clothing is not designed that way. There is like a poncho that they have, which is a four-cornered garment with a hole in the middle. So if someone wears that, if a man wears that, he would then be obligated to put tzitzit on that. So technically, if a person is not wearing a garment that has four corners, a person does not have to wear tzitzit. Because we want to fulfill mitzvot, because we want to fulfill the commandment, we especially put on a garment of four corners to then obligate ourselves to the mitzvah and wear tzitzit. Naturally, we want to perform so many mitzvot You say, we love the mitzvot. We know how beautiful it is, how wonderful it is. And therefore, we actually create an imperative. We create a need for the tzitzit by putting on the four-corner the garment. It's a very special thing. I could keep speaking about this more and more, but I don't want to overwhelm you because you may have many other questions. So maybe I will share this with you. Listen very carefully. Our sages tell us a story of a man who was on a ship, and there's a great storm that comes, and the ship is rocking from one side to the other, lightning is coming down, and the ship begins to turn over and break apart. And people are falling into the water. Listen like you have never listened in your life. And the man believes he's going to die. He sees people all around him perishing. He's now in the water. He grabs a piece of wood that is floating, a piece of debris that's floating on the water, and he just holds on to it with all his might. And he loses consciousness while holding on to the wood. And the next thing he knows is he wakes up and he looks around him, and he's laying on the beach of an island. Where am I? He sees debris from the ship around him. He looks to see if anybody else survived. He is the only one. Where am I? Oh my God, this is terrible. And he begins to look for people, look at the ground, look at debris, look for somebody. And as he's looking, he looks down and he notices something very shiny. What could that be? He picks it up, and it's a diamond. Could it be a diamond? And he can't believe it. This diamond is so big and so beautiful. Well, this diamond, I'm rich. From this one diamond alone, I have all the money that I'll ever need. And he takes the diamond and he puts it in his pocket right away, and he walks a few more feet, still looking for things in the ground. He's trying, where am I? What's happened to me? How will I get out of here? Ooh, I have a diamond. And he sees in the ground there's another. He goes to pick it up, another diamond. And as he's staring at this diamond, he hears people behind him. He turns around and he sees that there are people who are staring at him. They're natives. And they look at him and they're perplexed. They don't understand. And he, of course, is very confused. And where am I? He asks them. And they ask him, what are you doing picking up this shiny stone? What are you doing? And he asks them, are you crazy? It's a diamond. this is a diamond. This is the most valuable substance in the world. And they look at him, and they all were laughing and laughing at him. And he go, why are you laughing at me? He said, they said to him, you fool, this whole island is full with this. This is all over. Go, take all you want. This island is filled with these stones. This is worthless here. They said to him, however, if you can find this, and one man takes out of his pocket a pebble, a little stone, and he says, if you can find this, then you are a rich man. And he looks at them, he says, are you stupid? This is a little rock. It's all over, it's worthless. This is not anything. Diamonds is what's valuable. And they said to him, look, we need someone to clean up the island. If you want to go collect diamonds, make yourself happy. But this little stone, this pebble, this is what's valuable. So the man is collecting diamonds, and trying to fill his pocket with diamonds. But after time, he's not getting rescued. And his diamonds are not worth anything. People laugh at him. And he realizes, I don't know how long I'm going to be stuck on this island. Maybe I should try finding one of these pebbles, because I need to be able to live here and to have something valuable here. So he's searching and looking, and he's studying the terrain, the ground, and he figures out where he can find these pebbles. And he finds it, and suddenly, with these pebbles, the people on the island are now willing to build him a big house and bring him all the food he wants and all the servants that he needs. And he's now collecting pebbles. He knows where to find the pebbles. And in fact, there's no room in his pockets for the pebbles, so he has to get rid of the diamonds to put pebbles inside instead. And he's throwing away diamonds, and now he's collecting pebbles. And he's becoming the richest person in the whole island, because he knew about stones and geology, so he knew where to find it, and the people there did not. And he's taken away all of his diamonds, and now his pockets are filled with pebbles, and he's the richest man on the island. And he is so happy, and but his heart hurts him. He wants to go home. He doesn't want to stay there. He misses his family. One day, as he's looking out at the beach, he's looking out at the water, he sees, he can't believe it, a ship. A ship is passing by. He jumps on a piece of wood, and he starts paddling out to the ship and screaming at them, save me, save me. And he runs, and he's pulling himself and paddling towards the ship. And he finally gets the ship. They lower a rope that he can climb up on the ship, and he pulls himself on the ship, and he just falls on the floor of the ship, and he says, thank you, so long I have been living in this island. Thank you. I'm from that ship that was lost. I'm the only survivor. But wait, I'm rich, he says to them. You know what I have? We're wealthy. I'm going to reward all of you. Let me show you. And he takes out the pebbles, and he shows the people on the ship. And the people on the ship are going, are you stupid? What are you doing with pebbles? This is worth nothing. He says, the pebbles are so valuable. Look at the pebbles that I have. And as he's pulling out the pebbles, there was a diamond that was in his pocket that was left over. It was like caught to his pocket, and it falls out. And it falls on the floor, a big diamond. And the people go, oh, look at that, a diamond. And then he realizes how foolish he was. This is very much the experience of every one of us in this world. We come to this world, and there are mitzvot, there are commandments all around us. We have an opportunity every moment to pick up diamonds. But the natives of this world think that mitzvot are not important. Torah is a curse. The law is not important. What's important? Silly things, how big your car is, something you can't take with you, how much money in the bank, you cannot take that with you. And eventually we lose an understanding of what's really important, and we collect pebbles. And then after 120 years, when it comes time, when a person goes before God, a person says, look at all the pebbles I have. And they're not important. What is important are the diamonds. But in this world, diamonds are not important. In this world, we are told by everyone around us, collect pebbles, collect cars, collect jewelry, collect makeup, collect dresses, collect things that have no importance at all. What really is important is the diamonds. And that's why this world is called an Olam HaSheker, a world of lies. The world to come is called Olam HaEmes, the world of truth. And therefore, in this world, pebbles are important, but they're worthless. You understand? What is important for each and every one of us as children of God is to know that no matter what we are told by the natives of this world, by the culture of this world, never forget it is the diamond that is valuable. It is not the pebble. And we have to resist the ideology of this world of the natives because they do not know what's valuable. Only the Torah is valuable. And therefore, people will say to you, wearing tzitzit is not important. It is important is how nice your car is, how nice your house is, how many houses do you have. But a person cannot bring with them this to the world to come. This has no value in eternity. And this, my friends, is how a Jew looks upon the mitzvot, the commandments of the Torah. These are the diamonds. And yes, although I said to you a moment ago earlier that technically, if you're not wearing a four-cornered garment, you're not obligated to put on tzitzit, but you have an opportunity to collect a diamond. You have an opportunity to give God a kiss. And therefore, a Jew, a person who loves Hashem, creates a need for the tzitzit by putting on a four-cornered garment and then he puts tzitzit on it and he has fulfilled the mitzvah. He has acquired a diamond. Do you understand? If you understand what I have just shared with you, you can now understand everything about how we are to relate to God, what this world is like, that we resist what the people tell us, the law isn't important. Paul says the law is a curse, you don't need. No. Paul is saying collect pebbles, it's worthless. What is important is the mitzvot of the Torah. This is what's valuable. And do not be fooled by what the nations of the world say. The Jewish people know and understand. That's why the Torah says only the Jew understands the sound of the teruah, of the shofar, of the blowing of the shofar. We understand that. And therefore the nations need to come to the Jewish people and say, teach us about God. Because now we know that God is with you. You understand the difference between day and night. You can anticipate the future. There's a very beautiful blessing that we say in the morning. It's one of the first blessings we make when we wake in the morning. And it's a very strange blessing. We say, "Blessed O Lord, King of the universe, Hanoisein lasechvi vino lahavchin ben yoim ben loila," who gives to the rooster the wisdom to distinguish the difference between day and night. A rooster, before the sun even comes up, goes cock-a-doodle-doo. It knows that the morning is coming. Thank you, God, for giving a rooster this wisdom. Is a rooster really such an intelligent animal? Are we really starting the first blessing? The first thing we're saying is, thank you for giving roosters a wisdom. That's the first blessing. But now, my holy brothers and sisters, you are beginning to understand what is meant by this blessing, and why without this blessing we cannot continue. The rooster is a metaphor for those while it is still night. The rooster knows that what is coming, and that is the day, the light is coming, the or, the light, which is the Torah. The rooster recognizes while it is still night. One day, the people of Indonesia, one day soon, the people of Malaysia, one day soon, the people of Europe, when the light finally comes, they will realize their mistake. But blessed is the person that while it is still night, while the Messiah has not yet come, anticipate its coming. And like a rooster are yelling like a rooster saying, the morning is coming. And this is the meaning of the blessing, that I know what really a diamond is, which shines the light. I know what is coming, that the night is not important. The owl in many myths is considered a wise animal, an owl. It really is not. But an owl usually is associated, I don't know if that's the case here, but an owl is considered wise like an owl. An owl is not wise, but an owl is a nocturnal animal. It hunts at night. The owl is king of the night. God gave an owl special abilities to use certain senses to see at night, to find and capture its prey at night. And the owl loves to say to the rooster, you fool, look at me, I'm the king of the night. And the rooster turns to the owl and says, you fool, the morning is soon coming. So we, the Jewish people, who understand the difference between day and night, who know and apprehend the difference between a diamond and a pebble, we turn to the world and say, it is night now, but soon the morning is coming. How do we do this? By raising our voices to the world. Many people of the nation will say, don't listen to the rooster. The night will remain. We, the owl, are the ones who are strong. In fact, in Isaiah chapter 14, the king of Babylon is condemned by the prophet Isaiah and he is called the morning star, or the planet Venus. What is the morning star? What is meant? And Isaiah makes fun of the morning star. Christians make a very big mistake of saying that this is speaking about Satan. It specifically is speaking about the king of Babylon, who is yet to come. Isaiah lived before the Babylonian Empire. Isaiah lived during the Assyrian Empire, a much earlier period of time. So he was speaking about the future. And you can see this in Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12, where it especially says, "You king of Babylon." And what is important is, what is the planet Venus? What does he say? Why does Isaiah compare the king of Babylon, who would one day come and subordinate and capture Jerusalem? And that is that the king of Babylon held himself high. He thought he was the ruler, and he would always be the ruler. At night, we are able to see the stars, all the stars. During the day, we don't see stars. Why? Are there stars in the sky right now? The answer is yes. Why can't we see them? Because it's too bright. There's the sun. The brightest heavenly body, the brightest is the planet Venus. This is the brightest heavenly body that can be seen. In fact, it's so bright that it's the last heavenly body, the last planet that can be seen as morning is coming. So the planet Venus thinks, I'm going to stay and everyone's going to see me. But of course, what happens? The sun comes and Venus disappears as well. And this is how Isaiah, it's beautiful how Isaiah compares the king of Babylon. And of course, Babylon, the empire, was destroyed along with all the other empires. And that is, yes, the world believes we are strong, we control, we rule. No, there is one ruler, and the ruler is God. And the Torah is light, and the sun is coming. The Boker is coming. Boker means morning, but it also implies order. That means the true order is coming when we can see the mitzvot, when we can see the tzitzit. And this is why we wear tzitzit. We are obligated to wear tzitzit during the day. Okay. That's a long answer to a short question. But I think that this will give you a better insight into what the role of a Jew is. What are we doing in this world? How do we look at the Torah? Why do the nations mock us all day? Why do they laugh at us all day? Why do they say that our Torah is worthless? Why? They have tremendous respect for the Hindus. Look how nice in Bali, they're walking around like this, and the Indians of this, in college, they always have the tremendous, in the academic world, the biggest respect for all the other thing, but Torah, no respect at all. None at all. Why? They have no understanding of how precious the diamond is. They think pebbles are important. Do you understand? If you comprehend what I've shared with you now, then you have now understood so many things about what God wants from you, from me, from each and every one of us. Throughout Tanakh, the light is the Torah, as it says in Proverbs chapter 6, Kiner mitzvah v'Torah or, that Torah is the light. Isaiah tells us that the light, Torah is what is vital for the resurrection of the dead. And Isaiah 60, which is the Haftorah from this past Shabbat, arise and shine, for your light has come. Kings will go by your shining light. That's the opening verses of Isaiah chapter 60, one of the great giant passages of the Messianic era. The nations of the world will finally recognize that the source of true light is from the children of Israel. Not all the Jews, but God's servant, those who are faithful to the Torah. Then the nations will understand it wasn't pebbles that are important, but what is valuable? It is the diamond. What is valuable? It is the light. And then all the empires have disappeared, and now all we will have is the light of Torah.